The last part of the Create button under the classwork setting in Google Classroom is the Materials option. Now this is something that's been added most recently because a lot of people were upset with some of the updates of Google Classroom, and they wanted a spot that they could store just materials, kind of like a reference. And so Google has recently added this. So the material, this is like for if you have, say, a syllabus or a notes page or a PowerPoint that you might want to the kids to not necessarily do anything with, or turn in, but just for them to reference. And so as we create a material, you would click on it, and then just like what we did for some of the other ones, is we would the other assignments, we would upload whatever it is we want them to reference. And so in this case, I've already uploaded a project that I put together over 13 colonies. It's a playlist project. But this is something that I created in Google Docs, and it's just mostly something that I would want the kids to have a copy of for whenever either A, we started on that project, or for them to reference for, say, study purposes later on. And so with that, those are pretty much your basic options when it comes to your classwork. As a teacher, you do have other options such as inviting collab teachers that can also contribute to your classroom, or if you have specific other specific students that you want to add later on, that you can add to your created classes. Now the difference between the little sis classes and classes that you create is that you have to add and delete students as they come and go in your class. Whereas with the little sis classes, they are automatically populated. So it's just something to keep in mind as the year progresses. One thing I do want to make you aware of is that when you assign assignments here in Classroom, and this is a pretty handy little tip and trick for grading purposes, as students turn in assignments and they populate over here and you assign the student a grade, what's neat is that Classroom allows you to copy all grades to a local sheet. And so as I click on this, what's going to happen is it turns it into a spreadsheet that's already formatted and populated. Now, because I don't have any assignments that have been turned in or any students, it's going to look blank, but my students would appear over here, and then up in the top, this is where it would put my assignments that the students have been assigned. And then it would just put their grades down right here. So for many teachers that used to keep an old paper copy of a grade book, this would be a great way to supplement that or to replace it, is by having this Google Classroom, essentially, paper grade book, because you could always print this out as well. And the good thing about this being in Google is that since it created a sheet, it's going to also put it into my drive as well. So this is a great option that not a lot of people realize, because not a whole lot have been clicking on the gear over here. So these are just some options to ultimately help you optimize and hopefully make your Google Classroom more efficient as you're implementing it with your students this year. Hopefully with this you can see some potential in not just posting materials and having it be a file cabinet, but ultimately something that can benefit you and allow you to get feedback to the students in a quick manner, so that if there's anything that they need to redo, revisit, or relearn, that they can get that learning done.